Okay, this is my second economic lesson on government intervention, and this is going to start with the first lesson that actually is given in Henry Hazlitt's book, Economics in One Lesson, which is the broken window theory. It was a concept, like I said, is the first lesson given in Henry Hazlitt's book. It was actually thought up by a French philosopher named Frederick Bassat. Very smart man, understood his economics, and not too many people understood him back then, and they don't really understand it today, so it just shows how rare it is. But this is called the broken window theory, and it explains a lot of economic fallacies that exist. The biggest one being government intervention to create jobs is really a good thing. For instance, public works being levied to create jobs, it shows the stupidity of that argument. And also, interestingly enough, it actually shows how war does not create wealth in the long term, which some people has argued. And the biggest place that that concept is argued is actually by conservatives, believe it or not. It's very common today to hear conservatives say that FDR's policies did not pull us out of the Great Depression, which is very true. They didn't. They were stupid policies, and they harmed the economy much more than they helped it. But then your general everyday Republican will probably say something like, it was World War II. It was the war that created the demand and pulled us out. No, it didn't. World War II didn't pull us out of the Great Depression any more than FDR's policies did. The market finally recovering after massive intervention pulled us out of the Great Depression. But this is also, like I said, the broken window theory also shows the fallacy of this idea that World War II pulled us out of the Great Depression. It didn't, and it didn't help us. It didn't. It will. I'm not saying that World War II was not worth fighting, because it was, but I'm just saying that it didn't create wealth, and it didn't help our economy any more than FDR's policies did. But anyway, the broken window theory is very simple, and it is this. Let's say that I go up to your house and I pick up a rock and throw a rock through your window, and then I run away. You come outside and maybe a crowd has gathered and just is looking at the window, and you're pissed. I vandalized your property, and you're thinking about the money that you're going to have to pay to get a new window. You're going to have to go to some window company and replace it, or you're going to have to buy one yourself and waste your time replacing it. So you're going to be out time and money, doing this. But so let's say someone in the crowd says, well, it's bad that someone vandalized your house and that wasn't fair and that broke the law, but now some window maker is getting business. So your help, especially in a day like today, where people who build houses and construction workers and contractors are getting hit with the worst of anyone else in this financial crisis. They might say that's a good thing, because now some window maker is going to get business, because you're going to have to buy a window that you wouldn't had to have bought before. So essentially, me, the vandal, has created um, the need for a job, or the need for a good, out of thin air. Okay, and that's beneficial to the economy, because now I'm going to help the economy grow, because I broke your window and now you have to buy a window, and that's going to stimulate the economy. Well, no, it's bullshit. It's true that it's going to stimulate an industry, but it does nothing to stimulate the overall economy. And here's why. This is what Frederick Bassat called looking at the seen consequences of economics, but not looking at the unseen consequences. For everything you do, there is probably a reaction you see, and there's a reaction you don't see. Okay, and in economics, we're looking for what we can see, but there might be something unseen down the road that we don't anticipate. And this goes back to Hazlitt's idea of the government looks at what it does in the short term, but not in the long term. In the short term, it might create something good, but in the long term, it's going to fuck something up worse. But this is, so let's say a person says this, though, that because I vandalized your window, you're going to stimulate the economy, so it's all good. Well, no, it's bullshit, and here's why it's bullshit. And if anyone knows their formal logic and reasoning, they should be able to draw this conclusion on their own. You're going to have to spend money on a window, but if you spend $200 on a window, that's $200 less that you could spend on something else. Let's say you were saving $200 to buy an HD TV, to go to a Blackhawks game, to I don't know, donate to charity or whatever. Um, the point is, you can't spend it now because you have to buy a window. Okay, so you didn't actually create wealth at all. You're taking money that you were going to put towards one project and put it towards another project. Now, theoretically, that does stimulate the window industry, but it does it at the expense of not stimulating another industry. If you wanted to buy a TV, now the HD TV industry is worse off, because now they're not getting your money. And like I said, this theory, or this idea, applies to shit we see every day. Like in Illinois, in my state of Illinois, they're pushing forward a huge public works bill that we say we need to stimulate the economy and create jobs, and this is going to get us back on our feet. No, it's not, because I don't know how much money they're putting in the bill exactly, but I know that they're going to have to raise it through taxes. And what that means is that people like me who it's hard to buy stuff already are going to have to pay more taxes, which means I'm going to be able to buy less, which means, yes, the construction workers who are going to get the government money are going to be better off, but me, the industry that I want to spend it on, whether it was a computer game, whether it was a CD, a DVD, or any other, thing that I wanted to waste my money on, they're not going to get my money. So they're not going to be stimulated, and the economy as a whole is not going to be better off. It's like saying 1 + 1 + 2 = 4, but somehow 2 + 1 + 1 equals something greater. It doesn't. You rearrange the numbers, but it equals the same number, and that's the thing. You can rearrange money in an economy like that by taking from someone and giving to someone else, or taking funds you were going to spend on something and spend it on something else, but you didn't increase the economy as a whole. If anything, you just switched money from one industry to another, and you ended up hurting the industry you switched it from. So this is the broken window theory. Really a simple concept that I hope people understand. Like I said, if you should be able to logically draw this conclusion on your own, but every time the government wants to pass, a public works bill, no one gives a shit. So that's the importance of knowing the broken window theory. And again, you can thank Frederick Bassat and Henry Hazlitt for that theory.